Hey everyone, so in this video I wanted to show you how to work the front loop and back loop and also how to do a half double crochet, also HDC. So as you can see right here we have our stitch. So this one in the front, that would be the front loop, and then we have the one in the back loop. So if you put your hook right in between, so in each one you can see the split. So we got the front loop and the back loop. If you have a hard time once you work the front loop figuring out where the back loop is, I recommend taking a stitch marker and putting it right in that back loop. So I'll show you right there. So then after you work around, it'll be easier to find the back loop. So now to work the front loop, so you have your stitch marker. Now this pattern that I'm doing specifically calls for an increase right here. So an increase is 2 stitches in the same stitch. So you just did the one in the front loop, and now I'm just going to do another one. And then you see how your back loop? So the stitch marker will help you find it once you work around. Now for this pattern specifically, it wants to do a half double crochet. So now the half double crochet in this pattern is requested in the front loop. So how you do that is you have your yarn on the hook. You're going to do yarn over, go through that front loop only, pull the yarn, pull it through that loop, and now you have 3 stitches on your hook. So now you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 of those stitches. And that is how you do a half double crochet. Now this one calls for another half double crochet in the exact same front loop. So I'm going to show you again how to do that. You're going to yarn over, you're going through that same front loop, pop through, yarn over, pull through. Now you have 3 stitches on your hook, or 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 of those loops. So there's your second half double crochet in the same front loop. So now this next one is going to be an increase. So we have the front loop, increase, increase, and we're going to do another 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, through the front loop only, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now remember, it wants 2 in the same front loop, so we're going to yarn over, go through that same front loop, yarn over, you got your 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now if you're working a pattern that wants a half double crochet in a normal stitch, not front loop or back loop, then you're just going to do it normally. You're going to do the yarn over, and you're just going through the whole stitch, not the front loop or the back loop, just both. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and go through all 3, and that would be a normal one. But that's not what this specific pattern calls for, but I just wanted to mention that. So now we're going to work all the way around, but just so you can see, so there's your stitch marker marking the back loop. Now with a plushy yarn like a chenille, it is hard, it can be more difficult to see. That's why I recommend this stitch marker, but you can see where it's bubbling up, and that's where that next loop is going to be. So let me finish this and I will come back. Okay, so now I finished working all the way around, and you can see, so your stitch marker is marking that back loop, and you can kind of see it through here. It's that raised section, and with the plushy yarn it is a little harder to see, which is why I recommend putting that stitch marker there. For this pattern it does call for a color change in the back loop only, but to keep the video short, I'm not going to do the color change, but that's where you would just take your new color, you would go in this back loop, and you would do the color change, and then work around. But for this, we're just going to keep this same color. So you have your back loop, and it's just going to be a single crochet. So you go in, do a regular single crochet. And you kind of got to move the stitch marker out of the way, and see the next raised section. So you're going to go right in there, and do another single crochet. And you're just going to do that all the way around. Now if you're like having a hard time, you're like, why can't I get it? You just kind of got to feel around with the plushy yarn. So see, it's right there. And just do your single crochet, see the next little bump, and single crochet. And then you're just going to keep working that back loop all the way around until you're done. And then obviously whatever is next in the pattern to keep going from there. But I hope this video helped on how to do front loop and back loop. and also how to do the half double crochet. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and comment on this video, and I hope this helps. Have fun!